there is there would be more truth to the matter if this was like a legitimate point of contention. But given that it's not, it's really fucking stupid. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to move on to some good news. The ousted Tennessee legislator Justin Jones was reinstated after the Nashville Council vote.
Awfully, tragically, it was just over 2 weeks ago. We were talking about another mass shooting, the Covenant School shooting in Nashville. That attack led to protests at the State House demanding new gun laws, and 2 black lawmakers were expelled by the Republican majority for participating. Now, one of those state representatives, Justin Jones, has been reappointed to his seat by the Nashville Metro Council. But the push for changes in gun laws remains the backdrop. Mark Strassman has more from Nashville.
Justin Jones has been elected as the interim successor for the vacant seat of Tennessee House District 52.
To cheers in the gallery, the Nashville Metro Council stood with Justin Jones and returned him to the Tennessee House of Representatives.
We all saw the video of what he did.
Last week, the mostly white Republican caucus in the Tennessee House flexed its supermajority,
Power to the people,
expelling the 2 young black lawmakers from mocking decorum with a bullhorn and bravado.
They did, in the chamber with other members, break every rule that we almost have.
No justice, no peace.
Yesterday, Jones marched with hundreds on the state capitol, telling Tennessee's Republican leadership their efforts have backfired.
My message to Cameron Sexton is that your attack on democracy, thank you, because it's galvanized a nationwide movement.
The cheers followed Jones onto the floor of the very chamber he was expelled from just days before.
There comes a time where time itself is ready for a change, and that time has come back here in Nashville, Tennessee.
The future of Justin Pearson's seat hangs in the balance. The Shelby County Board of Commissioners is expected to decide tomorrow whether to return the former Memphis representative to his now vacant seat on an interim basis.
We are here because our people, our communities are saying it is time for justice now.
I caught up with Pearson outside Nashville City Hall.
Why is it important for them to appoint you, not for you, but as a message?
Exactly. It is important that we send a clear message that the people in District 86 representation matters, and that this illegitimate disenfranchisement of their vote and of their choice is wrong.
So tomorrow in Memphis, the Shelby County Commissioner will decide whether to appoint Pearson to his old seat. And in case you're wondering, lawmakers cannot be expelled twice here for the same offense. Gail?
Damn, he could be as fucking rowdy as he wants to now. So fucking lame they just soundbite him like this when they had some of the most passionate, inspiring speeches I've heard in years. Yeah, I mean, they covered it a lot. I think they played those speeches a lot throughout the weekend when they were first expelled. Aren't the things Jake's talking about, like, there are things that left-wing extremists chirp about in tiny echo chambers that then get dug up by the right wing and pointed to say that this is what the left believes, so join the right? Self-proclaimed centrists that watch Bill Maher get fed that crap. I think Jake was talking about that. I know, but the way he's covering it is not from the left. The way he's covering it is also offering additional credence. Sometimes your allies will do cringe shit, okay? Your allies will say and do cringe shit, okay? You're just supposed to go, that's weird. Let's move on. That's it. Now, of course, I do that, and then I ban them sometimes when they keep chirping over and over again, and then they become like a permanent enemy of mine forever, and then they get to Twitter and turn around and fucking be like, remember the last time Hassan had a purging in his Discord server? He's so anti-black. It's like, shut up. You're fucking crying about being banned from a Discord server. You are literally a pathetic, wormish, unserious person if you think that this is like an indication of anything, okay? Shut the fuck up. You're basically saying my personal distaste in my content consumption has led me to believe that this person is a fascist. Shut up. You're a fucking idiot. Just, move on, move on, move on. Look away, move on. Sometimes people who have good politics will demonstrate that in the worst ways possible, or they'll mistake their own personal narcissistic desires to be the center of attention as the I was wanting to be called something different. Cringe. What? I don't even understand what you're saying. I like. Oleami says the problem, who I love, by the way, she's great. The problem is that we have a whole lot of rich moderates with vaguely liberal beliefs who spend their time surrounded by rich Republicans, so they think that they're left until a real leftist shows up. Then they start calling the left extremists and trying to placate their right-wing buddies. I think that there's some truth to that for sure. People who aren't good people will sometimes have good politics, okay? Oleemi on the stream, I literally said I was going to have her on when she's supposed to come to LA. Kind of the same take as Jank, a straw man of a straw man. No, the real way to discuss this is either A, to not discuss it at all, okay? Or B, say that stop focusing on hyper fucking fringe sentiment expressed by no one, advocated by no one. This is not a real thing. The broader left cares about improving the working class's material conditions. If he had said that, no one would be fucking yelling at him. I say that every fucking day. You see that she's plotting on you? What do you mean? Who is? Oleemi is? I doubt it. Jax? No, she's not. I don't even think Jax is plotting on me. Like, we already covered this. I'm going to have her on stream regardless, whether she's plotting on me or not. I think we have disagreements on sex work, or at least like some component of sex work, because this is like the main point of contention. She doesn't want to be on stream. Yeah, you think you know better than I do? What is this? What do you mean? I'm directly talking to her. Yeah, she tweeted that. Except I'm like literally, I'm talking to her in DMs. Are you? She's probably posting and trolling and shit still. She admitted to trolling. My chat is still upset about it, understandably, because I get fucking attacked nonstop. But you were trending yesterday or Sunday, so I decided to jump on the train as well. It's good to have fun. This was what his take was. And then when I ban motherfuckers like this, okay, take some time out, first of all. When I ban guys like this, they then become fucking permanent enemies. Like, I don't understand. What's fun about any of this? Anyway, I used to look up to Anna so much, and now she's lugging tweets that say the revolt against trans think is growing. It's pretty devastating as a trans person, honestly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Bro, she threatened to find you and harm you and also told you to kiss yourself? Yes. She's trolling on Twitter. She originally was like farming negative clout, which is like not necessarily farming clout from my community, but instead of like a lot of permanent haters that are in the space. And that's what she was doing, and it doesn't matter. We already patched it up. What do you think about Mr. B's DMs? Are they fake? What? Anyway. Why do you patch things up with people like that? Because it's infinitely better to not have fucking additional drama, especially if they are ostensibly on my side with issues, more often that they're not. And that's literally, bro, what the fuck is trolling me? What the fuck does trolling mean to you? Guys, if someone is like overwhelmingly, pushing for leftist commentary regularly, but then they turn around and utilize silly, stupid, fuck Hassan takes, okay, on the timeline to farm some hate watchers to get involved in that, like, let me up my Twitter bona fides a little bit by shitting on Hassan, who's always like, what do you call it? I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. I don't want to even talk about this anymore. How do you know if they have good intentions? They don't have good intentions with me originally, but they have good intentions with the respect to their politics otherwise, because they're friends with Sean. So that's like a big point for me, at least. Okay. If they have mutuals with people who I respect, people who are community members, like, yeah, I'm going to find ways to solve the divide for no reason. This is literally the same point of contention that we were talking about. This is the same point of contention that we were talking about with respect to, like, fucking jank. It's so stupid. Friends with a mod, be above and beyond charitable. Yeah, that's what I said. Sean is not a mod, though. So he himself is a content creator. It's Sean the Black. Yes, he's a VIP. He's not a mod. Anyway. None of this is... When I do stuff like this, I think, is this productive? Is this productive discourse? Okay? Is this productive discourse? And if there is a better way to solve some stupid, silly, idiotic, sectarian infighting, okay, I'm going to take it every single time. Okay? That's it. That's it. Crying about mean tweets again, lol. Am I crying about mean tweets? I'm not. Chat is crying about mean tweets, and I'm trying to tell them that, like, it's not the end of the fucking world. 98% of the fucking time, I have to describe to people their own personal incorrect assessment of the situation as the words are coming out of my mouth. What the fuck, man? I really don't understand it. It's like, no, dude, that's your fault, okay? That's your problem. Like, you're not, I guess, smart enough to understand the words that are coming out of my fucking mouth. Take 5 minutes off. You're not listening. You're responding like a fucking animal to shapes and colors that you're seeing on screen. Oh my God. Talk about fucking, I don't even want to, I honestly am going to lose my mind if I watch this, but here, fuck it, why not? Kyle Rittenhouse, this double standard is not okay. Kyle Rittenhouse went on Tucker Carlson to do what? You might have guessed it, to defend Governor Greg Abbott. I suspect, I haven't seen this yet, okay? But to defend Governor Greg Abbott's decisions to pardon a convicted murderer who expressly went to a Black Lives Matter rally, drove into the crowd, and shot someone there. Okay? He did that. Now, in the state of Texas, to get to get convicted of murder in the first degree, I mean, that's, you really, really, really had to have wanted to do this aggressively. Like, can you imagine a Texas state jury convicting someone who went to a Black Lives Matter rally and killed someone? Well, I covered this extensively yesterday. Okay? I covered this extensively yesterday. You already know the details. He openly mentioned that he wanted to go to a BLM rally and kill people. That's the reason why. Okay? Which he did. He posted that he was going to do that on social media. He posted that in private conversations. And all of that was, of course, used as evidence against him because he ended up doing it. Let's take a look at what, but of course, for Governor Greg Abbott, that wasn't enough. He is going to pardon him, and now Tucker Carlson is petitioning to pardon him immediately.
But first to the case of Daniel Perry in Texas. Perry's an Army sergeant who was driving for Uber in Austin during the 2020 Black Lives Matter riots. A mob surrounded his car in the middle of the street. And we know this because parts of what happened next are captured on video. One rioter closed in and raised his AK-47 in Perry's direction. Perry responded to the threat to his life, shot and killed the man in self-defense. The local DA, Soros-backed, charged Perry with murder for that, and last week Perry was convicted.
So, one thing I have to immediately mention is that the victim in the situation, the one who got murdered, is also an Army veteran. Air Force veteran. So I know that Tucker Carlson is going to avoid talking about that. But if you want to bring up like someone, if you want to bring up the murderer's active duty status, then you should probably mention that the person he murdered is also a fucking veteran, an Air Force veteran. The Soros-backed DA, blah, blah, blah. That's just, that's just regular rhetoric. We know that already. It happens all the time. Okay?
Perry's family in shock, crying over the fact that he had just been convicted of murder for killing protester Garrett Foster in 2020. Perry himself, unable to hide his emotion.
Yeah, his text revealed he wanted to kill them rioters and drove into these individuals running a red light. That is exactly what happened. Yes, those are incredibly important points that the jury saw and decided he was guilty of the act of murder. So you can fucking cry about it all you want, bitch. And Tucker Carlson can cry about it all he wants. But that is the reality. It was premeditated, too.
Hugging his attorney as he cried.
State, is there a motion?
The state wasting no time.
Jury, I'm asking the defendant be remanded into custody at this point.
Perry was turned over into the custody of the Travis County Sheriff's Office, handcuffed instantly.
So you're not allowed to defend yourself against BLM rioters, even when they point a rifle at you. That's the lesson. But of course, that lesson is incompatible with justice. And so to his credit, the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, has announced that he will pardon Daniel Perry. It's a little more complicated in Texas. Perry is behind bars tonight, but the governor has instructed the Pardons Board to work on an expedited review. That's required by law in Texas in order for a pardon to occur. But he is pardoning this man. That is obviously the right thing to do. George Soros can't.
Yeah, totally. It's the right thing to do. You know, when people go out, say that they're going to do a murder, end up doing the murder itself, okay? As long as, like, they are killing the bad guys in the eyes of Tucker Carlson, like, that's justifiable. Because that's the future that they want. The law should always work in their favor. That's it. There is no reason. There's no rule of law. There's no law and order. Law and order just means law and order for me and violence for you. Looking at a situation like this and considering it a just murder is absolutely fucking insane. It was insane for Kyle Rittenhouse, but it's even more insane for this one, okay? Kyle Rittenhouse's situation also had similar points of contention, okay? But it's fucking insane to look at this one and go, oh, this one actually, he should be free. He should be free of this murder as well.
Pay for people to put his political opponents in jail and then have a Republican governor ignore it. It's outrageous. But of course, Democrats think he should be convicted of murder because one of their voters got killed. Now, everyone involved in this was the same color, white. But of course, Greg Abbott is a racist for some reason for pardoning Perry. Watch this.
I understand what Abbott is doing. So much of this here, go back to Galveston, Texas, and you're going to find out what happened. Remember, it was in Texas that black folks were kept into slavery over 2 years after they had been freed.
This is what we're dealing with in this country. This is why you ended up having a Black Lives Matter protest in the first place. Seemingly, the Republicans do not believe in being hard on crime when it comes to certain folk, right? Seemingly, they only want to be hard on crime when they are poor, when they are black, when they are brown.
If Daniel Perry gets pardoned for murder in Texas, it'll really only be because he killed the right kind of person, the person that right-wingers don't care about. That is a Black Lives Matter protester.
I mean, yeah, that's it. That's the truth. I don't know why he's like showing truthful sentiment here, because that's precisely what Tucker Carlson is saying literally in this broadcast as he runs defense. I don't get it. I don't even understand why he's showing the truth and then he's going to do that exact same argument. At this point, I'm not even fucking kidding. At this point, it doesn't matter. It's like my side versus your side. I believe you're on the wrong side. I believe I'm on the right side. Even if you're saying something that is objectively true, even if I turn around and do exactly what you just said that I'm going to do, because you're on the other side, I'm just not going to look at that and go, wait a minute, this guy's actually correct on this. It's fucking bananas. It doesn't matter. Cognitive dissonance is so powerful in this country at this stage of our idiotic back and forth politics that you can literally show someone saying the objectively correct take and then literally follow through on what that objectively correct take was and actually act out what the take was originally, and people will still never once look at that and go, hold on, you're doing the thing that he's saying. Okay? He's showing this because Tucker is saying they're implying the person who murdered was black and the shooter was a racist. None of those people are saying that. I don't know about Jim Clyburn. I don't know what Jim Clyburn's circumstance is, but they're saying that he was a BLM protester. Doesn't matter. That's it. It's over. You are a BLM counter-protester. You wanted to go there and kill BLM protesters. You ended up killing a BLM protester. That's it. That's it. You don't want Black Lives Matter protesters to exist. You want Black Lives Matter protesters to be shot and killed, or at the very least, driven over, okay? That's it. Holy fuck.
But the guy who was shot was white. Like, this is insane. And by the way, Congressman Clyburn.
Yeah, no one is saying that the guy who got shot was black. I don't think, at least. They're saying that the guy who was shot is a white guy at a Black Lives Matter protest. He was there on his own volition. He was there with his quadriplegic black fiance, and he got murdered in front of her, okay? When he was trying to make sure that his fiance was not killed by this fucking freak weirdo driving into a crowd. That's the reality of the situation. You don't have to be black to go to a Black Lives Matter protest, okay? It's called solidarity. It's so odd. And like, it doesn't even matter. The component, the BLM component in this circumstance, the BLM component in this circumstance is only utilized as a defense for what he was doing, okay? Like, there is no situation where you could just drive into a fucking crowd with your car, take your gun out and shoot someone in that crowd, and then get away with it. That's it. What the fuck do you mean? That's what you did. You're defending a guy who did that. And the only reason why they're defending the guy who did that is because it was a BLM protest. That's it. And BLM protests are scary and bad. On the wrong side of politics on that one.
Does not get the credit that he deserves for being completely dishonest, ignoble, and also totally corrupt. He was promoting his daughter for government jobs. So the Texas Pardons Board is now reviewing Daniel Perry's pardon. They're not watching MSNBC, we hope. But we wanted to speak to one of the few people who knows tonight what Daniel Perry is going through, sitting behind bars for defending himself. Kyle Rittenhouse lived that experience. He joins us tonight. Kyle Rittenhouse, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Tucker.
So here you have a guy, I don't think there's really any debate. The protester who was killed raised a rifle at him, is exactly what happened with you. How do you think Daniel Perry feels tonight sitting in jail?
I could only imagine. He's probably sitting there wondering what happened. He defended himself. He knows what he did was right. You have a man with an AK-47 and over 120 rounds of ammo on his person, dressed...
Wait, I'm confused. So in Kyle's situation, people actually being fearful of Kyle running around with an assault rifle is ridiculous. That's why he should be not guilty, okay? But when the other side is a Black Lives Matter protester and he has a fucking rifle that's on his goddamn chest, okay, then he is actually guilty because, so it's always whoever is the BLM protester. That's the double standard? What the fuck? He said it's a scary rifle. Bitch, that was the entire point of why people were fucking chasing you. What the fuck? Bro, don't call it an assault rifle law. If that's your takeaway from this fucking circumstance, you need to suck on yours, okay? That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Why is this soft, tall baby adult talking with the Valorant accent? Yeah, I mean, you know why.
Just for war, as some people might say, with the rifle strapped.
Oh
the
my
AK-47, raising it towards Daniel Perry, who is...
He didn't raise it. That's fucking bullshit. That was literally... oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind. He did not raise his rifle. That is not true. He walked over to the car and told him to step away, like to not drive into the fucking crowd. He did not. The perpetrator himself said, I shot him because I didn't want him to aim it at me. Like he openly, in his interrogation, said originally that he shot him before the other guy could do anything because he was scared. The rifle had no bullet in the chamber and the safety was on. Shut the fuck up. These are important parts of this conversation. Of course, none of those parts will be brought up in this situation because these are fucking demons. Their goal is not to parse through the truth and arrive at what actually happened on that night. The goal is to just cut propaganda. And as someone who is a fan of cutting propaganda on the left, at least, one, I do a better job of it, and two, I'm doing it for good reason. You're doing it because you want to go there and fucking defend a guy who killed a Black Lives Matter protester. It's fucking disgusting.
In flip-flops and beach shorts, carrying a revolver. And nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to mention that he was armed. I see a lot of reports just saying he fired indiscriminately into a crowd and he drove into a bunch of rioters.
This is like such an additional fuck you because it's like a flex. It's like I shot Black Lives Matter protesters. I got away with it. You should be able to do that as well. That's basically what it is. And the very same very same points of contention that like the prosecutors brought up in Kyle Rittenhouse's case, he's currently using against the victim. That is mind-boggling.
They don't want to talk about how he was swarmed, how his car was swarmed with a bunch of rioters trying to attack him.
As he was driving for Uber. I mean, the least powerful person in our society, attacked by one of the worst people in our society who's out there rioting. As in your case, you were trying to defend a used car lot, and a convicted child molester tried to kill you, and they took the convicted child molester's side. Do you see parallels here?
Absolutely, and you see the double standard in this case. People aren't talking about the fact of the second person who attacked Daniel Perry. After Sergeant Daniel Perry defended himself against Garrett Foster, he was then shot at 3 times.
I can't believe that we can say that, like, without even laughing or without even cracking a smile, that like Kyle Rittenhouse was protecting a used car lot. Man, sometimes I hate this country, bro. I mean, this is it.
By a person who was never charged by the Travis County DA. Somebody who recklessly fired a slew of shots at Daniel Perry's car, and they don't want to.
Oh my God, I can't believe he's saying this. I can't believe he's the one saying this. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You literally did that. Like, you did that and got away with it. What the fuck are you? Oh my God. Now we're going to have the expert on getting away with murdering protesters. Comment on a guy murdering protesters. Fucking psychotic. Yeah, no, it's insane.
They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the recklessness of that, and they don't want to charge him. It's a double standard, and it's not okay.
He fired 3 shots in the middle of a city, but that's totally fine. Okay. Kyle Rittenhouse, thank you.
Bro, he fired 3 shots in the middle of the city? Brother, how about the other guy who fired 5 shots and killed someone that you're currently defending? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, let's move on to fucking Bud Light and make fun of these idiotic conservatives for a little bit because I'm going to fucking lose it, dude. Holy fucking Lord. Oh my Jesus Lord. Oh, yay. This is so fucked up, dude. It is so incredibly fucked up. I don't know why, but you joked during Rittenhouse's trial that he would be elected as a politician one day, and I think about that a lot. Yeah, keep thinking, because it is going to inevitably happen. Yes. That wasn't a joke. That was just a promise, dude. Listen. When I tell you certain jokes about what will inevitably happen in America, they end up happening because America is a joke of a nation, okay? So in many respects, the funniest and the stupidest and the most insane thing that is slated to happen usually end up happening.
Damn, this guy's good.